Hap tells Olber to sit down with a 3-hit, 4 RBI night as the Cubs take another series.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Alongside Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into a discussion with you on all things Cubs. Today's episode is presented by our great partners at FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. Later in the show, we take a look at increases in TV ratings and attendance across baseball. Preview of Cubs Tigers and the tough stretch that begins Friday. And we start with the Cubs taking 2 or 3 from the Nationals following a 7-1 win on Thursday in the nation's capital. Northsiders improved to 39-23. Great work from this team as they complete the 21-game soft stretch at 16-5. Sam, we're going to break down this stretch, this game, and more. Let's do it.
It never fails. We come on this show, whether it's Swanson, Hap, whoever it is, you call him out. It's all I did. I just called him out. I said he shouldn't be slugging less than Nico Hoerner. Well, he's not anymore. He hit a ball that landed in the Lincoln Memorial.
I got to get some new sound drops.
He looked great, which by the way, isn't a small thing because if he could become Ian Happ, he can get hot again, which at some point we all knew he was going to do. I mean, what a huge lift it's going to give an already loaded offense. And then just as far as this individual game goes, and then I'll get into the 16-5. You know, the Cubs played in D.C., so I'm going to do some history stuff.
Okay.
You know, when's the last time Caleb Thielbar gave up a run? I mean, you talked about this. You tweeted these guys. He hasn't given up a run since the Warren G. Harding Teapot Dome scandal in the early 1920s. Okay, that was over 100 years ago.
Well, Flexen, Pomerantz, Keller, and Thielbar haven't allowed a run since at least April 30.
Thielbar's ERA is 1.99. So, but just a great win today. I do think it's important to mention, I think, you know, especially me more than you, I like to complain when the luck doesn't go our way. I thought the luck went our way tonight. A lot of hard hit balls by the Nats, a lot of them. Some really good defense on display as well. Some good throwing and, from the outfield. But Matt, I mean, how about this stretch? I was 15-6. You were 14-7. I was being called ambitious. They just breezed right by this.
I know. And you can hear it in our voices. This team, this win especially, I viewed this as important following our show on I don't know what day it is, on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And for them just to get out to that lead courtesy of the PCA 2-run Jackson and just never look back. What a nice game. It just gave me a lift personally as well.
Me too. And
especially amidst the air quality.
Yeah, well, no, I tried to go for a 10-minute jog and I had I had to come right back in. Actually, I tried to go for like a 20-minute jog. I only made it 10 minutes.
Right.
No, it helped me professionally too. I was able to get some work done during this ball game. It was kind of a laugher. So,
well, I started writing a parody song to "Taking Care of Business." They went 16-5.
Oh boy.
You know, over these 21, they're now on pace for 102 wins. What more can you ask for?
No, there's nothing. There's nothing more to ask for.
An outstanding stretch, and quite frankly, especially after how it opened against not how it opened, but that game against the Fish.
Yes.
Following the White Sox sweep.
Yes.
Just an outstanding stretch.
Outstanding maybe should be in the title.
Yeah.
A lot of outstanding tonight. No, seriously. And like the only thing that has kept this division from being kind of like 8-9 games is just the other teams have played well. The Cubs just went 16-5 in a 21-game stretch. That's really hard to do. I don't care if you're playing the Rockies, the Marlins, the White Sox, whoever it is.
It's really hard.
And by the way, this National Series wasn't a cookie. These guys
it wasn't a cakewalk to borrow another baked good.
Yeah, no, the Lincoln Memorial is probably my favorite thing to go to see when I go to D.C. I've been there twice. Anyway, What else do we got from this stretch?
Well, I thought so. You mentioned Hap. I know that we're doing it some performative stuff there, but
No, it's not.
his 2-run homer in the 6th, a no doubter. Earlier in the game, he gets the double, and that paired with the PCA 2-run homer with the big highlights. Him, Hap Sayah Shaw, all with multi-hit games in this one, and or did Reese McGuire as well?
I think they gave him a hit on that last one. I think it was a 2-hit day for Reese.
Okay, gotcha. So four guys, and so that was good to see. We're going to talk about the tough stretch, when we preview Cubs Tigers coming up. But one of my stated goals entering the year, and I do think this is rubbed off on you a bit, is to savor this stuff.
No, it's more than a bit. More than a bit. It's rubbed off on me a lot.
The numbers, it feels really good, and they're having an outstanding year, to use that word purposely again. 39-23. You blink, maybe you're cooking a meal or you're getting some food together, because this game started prime eating time
for you.
And by the time you get to the couch, it's 2-0, courtesy of PCA. Andrew Pomerantz has already opened the game, and he's out of the game.
And he might open tomorrow.
And I think he should. Why give it to Keller or Thielbar? Just open with the guy who's been doing it, and Pomerantz.
Oh no, they just announced it. I just looked. Bruce, Ben Brown's going to start. Not a huge fan of that.
Why?
Yeah, we'll save that.
Come on.
Yeah.
Colin Ray, 5 1/3, no runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts.
Yeah, he got hit around tonight, but it worked out well.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, the one thing I would say is, just in all seriousness, with Hap, you say those things because he's a really good baseball player, and that Ian Happ's not going to finish the year slugging .350. And so, when you see that, it's actually, that's more like it. That's Ian Happ. I don't expect the guy to slug .530, but he's always been a mid-4 slug guy. And so he's eventually going to get there. And tonight was a great step towards it. And man, I mean, say Tucker, Pete, if they could get Happ on one of his 1-month-long heaters, like I said earlier, goodness, it's going to be a really, really difficult team to deal with. And I thought Matt Shaw had a good day. I know you mentioned that too. He,
of course,
hit a ball hard up the middle. And, I'm still waiting for the pull side pop, but, what we've gotten out of him so far is far, 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 far better than what the Cubs were getting from that position before he came back up the second time. So all in all, just business. The best way I could describe it, Matt, is I told my mom the other day, I was taking her to the airport. No, it had to have been, it was yesterday. And it was after the Cub game. And she's like, the Cubs win today? And I was like, no. And she was like shocked. You know?
Exactly.
She was like, it's like, oh wait, the Cubs lost?
They win a lot.
Yeah, they win a lot. And that's really fun. And no, you said I've taken it from you a bit. I've taken it from you a lot. I am just enjoying these moments. When PCA hit that home run, I was just logging off, and I just did just a quick lap right around the apartment.
Okay.
Indoors though, because it's really bad outside.
Taking care of business for sure. Could the Cubs continue doing that even with a very tough slate? We're going to detail that slate, including the next 3 against the Detroit Tigers right after this.
This episode is brought to you by Trade Coffee. Let's be real. Coffee isn't just a drink. It's a ritual, a lifeline, the thing that gets you from half asleep to fully functioning. And if it's that essential, why settle for anything less than amazing? That's where Trade Coffee comes in. Trade is the #1 coffee destination in the United States, delivering fresh, incredible coffee from over 50 of the country's top roasters. Whether you're like my partner, Matt Cozy, and you love a good cold brew, or you're like the Cubs left fielder, Ian Happ, and you're a pour-over purist, Trade has got a roast that you're going to love. I took Trade's quiz. It only took a minute, and the first bag they sent me was spot on. The coffee was fresh, smelled amazing, and honestly, it ruined grocery store coffee for me in the best way. Right now, Trade is exclusively offering our customer 50% off your 1-month trial at drinktrade.com/LockedOnMLB. That's TRADE.com/LockedOnMLB for 50% off your 1-month trial. drinktrade.com/LockedOnMLB.
The top 2 teams in the sport, or at least the top records in each league right now, meet this weekend.
Wow.
Cubs-Tigers begins at 6:10 p.m.
Gave me
Central.
chills, man.
Friday, 12:10. Saturday, Sam, I'd like to invite you to a proposed family meetup for that game. And
Which game?
12:10 on Saturday. They also play at 12:40 on Sunday. The Tigers are 41-23. They've been really, really good since last August. Friday's game is exclusively on Apple TV Plus, but you can listen to Pat and Ron if you change the audio settings once the game begins. And one more Apple note here, because we're going to get to TV ratings increasing across baseball later in the show. Before I get you some matchups here, a little bit of Tiger preview. There was a little bit of Apple news on Wednesday.
I saw that.
Oh, okay.
Well, the other people didn't.
They announced that the Cubs and Cardinals on the 4th of July will also be
I didn't see that.
exclusively on their platform.
I thought you were talking about that report with Apple taking ESPN's rights or whatever for
No,
baseball.
I wasn't ready to talk about that yet.
Wait, so you're saying the Cubs are on Apple TV?
4th of July, Independence Day, the Cubs and Cardinals will be exclusively on Apple and Apple only. And that's a great day for baseball. I'm already actually looking forward to 4th of July. I think, I'm looking forward to the whole summer, which started this week for me. But yeah, I did want to get your reaction to that. It's pretty clear.
What?
Baseball on the 4th is just so it's romantic, you might say.
I go to the same place, same pool party every year for the 4th. What's gonna happen?
You're not going to get that game.
Yeah, I thought you were going to invite me over for the Friday night game because you get that Apple TV better than I get it.
Yeah,
Saturday.
no, I'm not. I wanted to invite you for Saturday. So
Saturday's going to be tough. I got plans.
Oh, well, I just want to at least invite you.
Oh,
All right, Brown and
you ruined my whole mood, and you know you ruined it with that.
Tyone Montero, Horton Flaherty, and Saturday is certainly the most winnable game of the series. Skubal has gone 16 straight scoreless, including a complete game shutout 2 starts ago, in which his last pitch of the game was recorded at 103 mph. Power surge from a few guys in their lineup. Unique bullpen strategy for manager AJ Hinch. A couple guys with 8 and 9 saves, Vest and Canely. Javi Baez hitting 275, 345 against lefties. He's played a lot of center field this year, but this week he's appeared in center and at short, second, and third.
Wow.
I'm really looking forward to this series.
This is awesome. Rematch of the 1945 World Series where the Tigers won in 7. Big series for Hank Greenberg in that game, in that series. Yeah, Skubal. Now, I don't know if he got pushed back because he threw the complete game, or if he just said, "Hey, Friday night, prime time, best offense in baseball's rolling into town. I've heard they're selling out that park. You know, that's obviously a much better position to pitch in." It kind of came back to haunt him a little bit though, because they lost to the White Sox on Thursday and split that.
They
series.
split with them, right?
Yeah. So, no, man, this is awesome. This is a showcase. This is a showcase weekend. You said it. The best 2 records in baseball, I think, or maybe the Mets are right there too. Oh no, the Mets got beat. They split with the Dodgers. They got beat today. So, yeah, I'm really excited. This is what I'll say about it. So, in terms of the Tigers offensively, they're a very unique team. They are as platoon heavy of a team as you could be. Like, their most talented hitter against righties is Kerry Carpenter. he does not pitch, or excuse me, he does not hit against lefties. Like he immediately comes out. That's why it's like shocking to me that the Cubs are not using an opener, because if you use that opener, it's like you're really going to be able to get Carpenter most likely.
That's very puzzling. Is it because Pomerantz pitched today?
Yeah, I guess Pomerantz and then
Thielbar did.
And Thielbar, and then you use Cabrera back-to-back days, and maybe they don't have confidence with him because that is a high leverage spot. The first inning, the Riley Green, the Kerry Carpenters of the world, they got a lot of talented hitters. And then what they'll do is late in games, they'll just flip guys around. You go lefty, you'll just see a whole different group. I would have loved to see Boyd throw in this series, or
right,
because they're so strong, such strong lefty hitters. But it is what it is. I'll say this, Matthew. I know we're going to talk about this and then the Phillies. I'm not going to say what I normally would say.
Okay,
which is, hey, just get out of there 3-3. Now, if they do, that'd be fine. That'd be fine. But this team has earned the right to raise the expectation, and so I'm not giving any series away. Yes, this will be difficult. Like I said, I wish we had some of our big boys go in and to match up with them, because they're
how about Imanaga against the Tigers lineup?
Yeah, especially Imanaga in that park. It's like the Grand Canyon there. Really hard place to hit it out of the park. So hopefully Tyone could get a bunch of fly balls to the track.
Correct.
But yeah, I'm not gonna say, oh well, 2-4, maybe 3-3 would be great. Yeah, hypothetically it would be. It'd be fine. But these guys, they're really good, and they know they're really good, and they haven't lost many series. So I'm excited to watch. Wish it was on a different channel Friday, but it is what it is.
Yeah, a guy named Rich Waltz doing play-by-play. I believe he's the Marlins play-by-player. And Ryan Spilborghs from the Rockies broadcast is the color commentator. So, yeah, and it is a potential measuring stick opportunity.
Is it?
And I think so, especially against the Phillies.
That I agree.
A team in your own league.
Yeah,
they've owned the league for they've helped own the league for the last couple of years,
for sure,
or even more. And so I'm excited, but I'm excited for all six games coming up here. But really, Sam, Friday begins a stretch with 31 of the next 35.
Oh,
against teams with over a 500 record.
It's crazy, man.
And this stretch takes the Cubs. I'm going to have to whisper for this one. This stretch takes the Cubs all the way to the All-Star break.
35, the next 35, huh?
All the way to the All-Star break on July 13th. The Cubs will be 97 games in after this stretch, dude.
My life's going by too quickly.
It's going by so quick.
I don't like when you do that.
Sorry.
It makes, I'm
trying to preview the stretch.
What is it, June 5th? It's not even Father's Day.
Right, maybe I should stop that.
No, it just depresses me a little bit. I want to enjoy this. I want to enjoy
the moment, man.
I want to enjoy waking up tomorrow morning and going, oh, the Cubs play the Tigers.
And looking at the standings, right?
Two best teams in baseball.
I know. And
who should I call out to hit a home run? How about Matt Shaw?
This should be hyped up in a huge park. That'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be really tough.
I think Tucker.
Oh, well, yeah, but he's been doing well. I mean,
I
just mean, usually if I pick on
players that are struggling.
Yeah, pick on somebody that's struggling.
Kelly.
Shaw's not struggling, but he just hasn't hit a homer in a while. So
what about Kelly?
Yeah, Kelly too. It's a tough place to homer. Too big of a park.
Well, the Cubs homering off Scooble, I would think they're going to win that game.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch him. I know I haven't watched him enough. I've probably watched maybe since he's become great, maybe like 6-7 starts.
Well, what do you think the expectation is for Brown against a good lineup like this? Because that first inning is going to be scary. Maybe even that first 9 hitters.
My expectation for Brown is I have absolutely no idea what to expect.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
If you were to tell me he goes 7 shutout with 10 Ks, I wouldn't blink. If you were to tell me he's out of there by the 4th, I wouldn't blink. Roll the dice and see what happens. I'm surprised they're not using the opener, but I bet you it's because
usage
of what you just said. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, baseball's in a good place right now. You have some good brands near the top of the standings. You have teams like the Tigers, who in a big market, but a little less so of a baseball brand
Yeah.
coming onto the scene. And that's really been seen in results from attendance and TV ratings across the game so far in 2025. We detail that right after this.
This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are in full swing, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live with player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. I want to pivot to MLB futures. National League MVP odds on FanDuel. Shohei Ohtani, the favorite, heavy, minus 250. Corbin Carroll in second. I don't understand that, plus 1,200. Fernando Tatis Jr., third or tied for second, plus 1,200. And then our guy, Pete Crow-Armstrong at plus 1,500. Kyle Tucker at plus 1,600. Folks, I think Pete is still undervalued in this market. He should be ahead of Carroll, and he should be ahead of Tatis, with all due respect to the great Kyle Tucker. Pete Crow-Armstrong's been the best player on the best team in the National League. So if you're new to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA.
All right, these numbers are courtesy of Front Office Sports. ESPN TV ratings this year up 22%. Fox up 10% as well. Double-digit percentage increases have also been posted on other platforms such as the league's own MLB TV, also MLB Network, Showcase Game telecast, and Tuesday night coverage on TBS. In Japan, MLB viewership has grown 22% to an average of 2.7 million, and that's excluding Cubs Dodgers back in March.
Remember that.
Let's see what else I could share with you here. Highlighting the viewership data is an average draw of 2.7 million viewers and a peak of 3.1 million this past Sunday night for Yankees Dodgers. And there's also been a 1.8% bump in MLB attendance this year.
Which I don't get, because every time I watch a game, I mean, you go watch a Marlins game, we could do the show. You could do the show from the mound, and I could be in the left field bleachers where nobody would interrupt us.
Well, even all the other teams, maybe aside from the Brewers and the Cubs' own division, have light attendance.
The Cardinals has been light this year, it feels like, for sure. So my comment on those numbers are encouraging.
I think so.
But I still think it should be more. Like, we don't talk about, when I say we, I just mean as a sports society.
And do you mean more viewers or like more marketing or both?
That. More the latter.
Okay.
Like Aaron Judge, like what he's doing right now, with all due respect to like soccer and basketball and football, this guy is batting .392.
It's June 5th already.
It's June 5th, and he's on pace for like 60 homers.
Potential triple crown guy.
He's having one of the greatest seasons statistically in the history of the sport, facing the hardest pitching, where he's got to face righty, lefty, lefty, righty every time, 98. And then Ohtani, they're talking about him getting back on the mound. He got off to a slow start. He hits a homer 3 times a week. And and both those guys, one guy's playing in New York and one guy's playing in LA. And oh, by the way, and I'm not just saying it because it's our show, it also helps batters when the Cubs are good.
Of course.
The Cubs are a huge, huge team. And so I think it's good that it's growing, but I think it should grow even more this summer. Go out and watch a guy like Pete Crow-Armstrong and celebrate these guys. Like, I never understand when people are like, I'm so tired of seeing Ohtani and Judge. Were you tired of Michael Jordan in the 90s? it's just, I just think we need to celebrate greatness more. And I understand, like, people get upset with the Chiefs, and you were one of those people. I'm rooting for the Eagles. Fine.
Yeah.
But like, celebrate the fact that this Mahomes guy is that good. Celebrate Ohtani. Celebrate Judge. I mean, 392 against these pitchers, these dudes that throw 100 max effort with spin rate and all these things. I mean, don't you feel like it's actually under talked about?
I do. And I think the Yankees-Dodgers World Series, I was really pushing for that because
he hurt himself in that. That was rough. He had a chance to have a huge moment to really take over, and he struggled.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's an interesting theory.
Well,
I was going to say,
him and Ohtani weren't good.
I felt like though that matchup alone did give the sport some momentum.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that happened.
You're 100% right.
On the island of the World Series.
I just think it could have been. You're 100% right. I just think they could, like, if that was like a 7-game classic with those two guys going homer for homer, it would have taken it to another level. Mm-hmm. But you're right, that helped. And the other thing you're right about is it's kind of like it's a good balance right now. You have your Yankees, you have your Dodgers, you have your Cubs, you have your Mets, but you also got your Tigers. You know what I mean? You also got some good stories involved too. And so, yeah, it's a good time. I hope the league gets views, and I hope it's celebrated more because it's a great game.
I hope so too. And, I'm tracking teams with multiple stars right now as well. Dodgers, Mets, Cubs. Maybe you put the Phillies on there. I think Bryce Harper's brand is still pretty good.
Yes.
Guys even like Skeens and Witt last year, Sam, with breakout parties.
You're right.
I think that's good for the game. I think Skeens starting the All-Star game last summer, great move.
Yep.
Was that a tap on the shoulder from the commissioner's office? I don't know.
Uh-oh. Put your conspiracy hat on.
Well, but it was a good move. If they did that,
and maybe Skeens follows Thielbar this summer classic.
Hey, Pomerantz should punch his ticket to the ATL. Or maybe Keller. I don't know, but no, I like this. I think the attendance part did raise a brow for me as well.
Yeah. Just
because I have scanned MLB TV, late at night the last month or so, thanks to you, and a lot of empty seats in parks across America.
Let me give you a quick theory on this that it could be totally wrong, and I'm sure I'll hear about it if it is. You have the A's getting more attendance because they moved to a better area, more populated, and then Tampa too.
That's right.
Because Tampa and Oakland, you're getting about 2,000 people combined, and now you watch like a Tampa game or an A's game. There's a little bit more buzz there because they're playing at the minor leagues. So maybe that gives you, but that probably would only help you by a few percent, not the percentage.
Yeah, but maybe.
Yeah,
especially when they have a bigger team that they're playing. Perhaps
I'll tell you one more thing. I think that'd be great for the game, and we can move on. I would love to see Mike Trout get really, really hot again.
Be awesome.
He's flirting with it. He was hurt. That'd be great.
Well, I should look up his numbers since he returned from the IL. I think
they're big because I'm going up against him in fantasy.
Okay. Yeah. No, he's been warmer since he got back, and that would be nice. That would be nice for the game. And then
Soto needs to get going.
And then when he gets hot, he'll be on the Phillies, and they'll make a run. All right. This is Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on the Locked On MLB channel on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. We'll be back after Cubs, Tigers. Let's enjoy how the Cubs are playing right now and enjoy this series. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.